So, the right question is now, how can you develop our healthcare system? And as you know, it's relatively difficult because we have a financial crisis. You, as we, all together need private investment for healthcare development. So, what can learn in France and Germany? Sorry. So, I don't. It's difficult. Okay. Financial crisis was really very difficult for us together, but what happened right now? Money is difficult for investors, but government are in difficulties now, and we all need help. So, sorry, I cannot read my paper. Okay, without glasses is better. So, today, healthcare could be considered as a contracyclic sector, but all depend on social protection. What happened before the crisis? We can observe that health expenditure was stabilized because we had before a really important economic development before the crisis. And what happened after the crisis? We know that in all our country, more richer you are, more expenditure you can have for healthcare sector. The red part concerns hospital. So the second most important expenditure concerning healthcare is hospital. The first one is always pharmaceutics. But what are the forecasts now? The forecasts are all healthcare expenditure are right now growing, and for the future too. That's a forecast from IEM. It's really difficult to compare healthcare system in Europe. Why? We have 27 countries, but we have more than 260 regions. And as you know, we have various regulation in region healthcare systems. So right now, it's not possible to have a complete comparison of all healthcare systems in Europe. Therefore, I study first two special countries, Germany and France, and what happened in private sector hospital in these two countries. As you can see here, there are many differences according to countries about private sector. Sometimes quite no private hospital, sometimes very important one. In private sector, you have two sectors, non-profit and profit sector. For example, in France, we have a quarter of hospitals who are private, profit private hospital. But in our sector, private hospital, 60% of surgery is performed in private sector. The most important part of surgery depends on private hospital. What happened in Germany? Germany, about 16% of hospitals are private, profit private hospitals. But in new Länder, as you know, after reunification in 1990, we have important growth of private hospital sector. That could be perhaps a model for Eastern countries too. That's the development of private hospital. At the beginning is about 2005 with an important growth of private clinic in Germany. That's a number of hospitals, but right now the turnover is very impressive. As you can see, development of private sector is really strong in this country. That's the turnover. As you can see, two groups have more than 2 billion of euro of turnover in 2009. It's very impressive, I think so. But more important, about 13% of this turnover is really invested in private hospital. That's perhaps a more important fact I have to show right now, is to say that surely you have an important turnover, you have cash flow, but you are investment too for the development of private sector in this hospital. What's happened in France? Quite the same, not so important. It came later, 2007. The most important group is Général de Santé, GDS, on this slide, with restructuration. You can observe a slight decrease of number of private hospitals, but it's more of reorganization. No hospitals were closed. But who are the owner of this private hospital? In Germany, it's a private group. But in France, we have hedge funds and private equity. The most important group, except Général de Santé, the most important group is Vitalia. And the owner is Vitalia, is US group, private equity Blackstone, one of the most important in health economics in France. Second one is KPO. KPO is based in Sweden, but the owner is US and UK hedge funds. As you can see, other groups depends too from hedge fund too. VDC, Procliff, CPA, for example. So we have two capitalistic stories, very different between France and Germany. In Germany, it's private group, specific from Germany. In France, it's international investors. That's a short story. As you can see, every 3 or 4 years, you change from owners. And each time, it's a new hedge fund or private equity for this transaction. Sometimes US, sometimes UK, sometimes French. But it's really a rapid change with this sector. KPO is the only one group from a European dimension, and the most important is in Sweden, as you can see, but in France and Germany too. I go rapidly. That's the summary. The most important groups in Germany and France. 3 first are German. Général de Santé in France is the fourth. And you can see we have right now new investors, Ramsay Healthcare, coming from Australia. We are buying right now some private hospital in Europe, and KPO from Sweden. All those groups are growing right now. That's the evolution of number of private hospitals in these 2 countries. And turnover and profit by bed. It's only economic data, but I think it's very important to know what can be the profit, what can be the strategy of investors. My last slide is to say, what is your strategy? And always in healthcare system, it must be a partnership between clinician and investor. Good management needs physician. So I show you only facts and figures. I think it's important to understand what could be the strategy. And the more important fact is during the crisis, no problem, because it was insured by social insurance payment in those 2 countries. So I can see that right now it's stabilization and perhaps right now growing later in these two countries. Perhaps it's a good example for private investor here in Romania too. Thank you for your attention.